We're on.
We are on. Greetings, everybody. This is Brian, Tarian, and Jam.
Hi, everybody.
I'm in blue and Jam is in pink, just so that you know. So welcome to the Disability Digest Live. We do this pretty much every Wednesday, although in advance next week, it'll be Tuesday because I have a schedule change just for the one occasion. So in these events, we give information on items to help you get your disability benefits approved, help you keep them, help you maximize them. So we hope you enjoy the presentation and the work that we do. So today we're going to cover a first part of a three-part series on check-related questions. What are some of the common check-related questions that people have and what the answers are to them? And then we're going to take some time to address any questions that you have. All right. So Jam, you have put a poll or question in the mix. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So if you
Wow.
just all right, good. I see most are approved. All right, that's super helpful so that I know how to kind of guide the conversation that we have. A few heads up before we started. If you're new here or maybe missed some of the prior shows, we are just finished up like a prior three-part series on how to maximize your benefits, specifically related to Medicare open enrollment season, which starts Saturday. So the first business day would be Monday. So you can listen to guest speakers like Mark Sneerowicz, who will help you understand everything that you are entitled to, like what your coverage is for A, B, C, and D, Medigap, that type of stuff. Then the second part of that was Daphne and Philip, who gave strategies on how to find specific benefits. Maybe you're looking to increase your cash flow, or you're looking for better coverage, or you're looking to like for a Part B buyback or the flex cards or some of those buzzwords that are going on. So those revealed the benefits. And then the third part, which was last week on Wednesday, you would have learned how to go in and look and find those benefits, like how to go through and navigate Medicare.gov, how to enter your information, how to find a plan and do a comparison. So here at the Disability Digest, our whole strategy is we show you everything that you need to do, everything you need to do to get approved, everything you need to do to keep your benefits and maximize your benefits. Like last week, then it's up to you to do it. So during this Medicare season, we have the ability to work with 120 people. There's like room for 40 more left. So we can't help everybody. So that's why we give away the information. All right. So to find those events and others, just go on our YouTube station and look through the videos for the prior Wednesdays. Right. All right, Jim, you ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, first thing I'm going to cover, and I'm going to cover it lightly because 65% of the people that we have here are already on their benefits. And that is the commonly asked questions like, how do I find out my check amount? Right? So your Social Security disability check amount, I'm going to share my screen here. You can find that out when you by either logging into or creating an account on with Social Security, and that would be your My SSA account. You can use this account for a variety of things, but for this topic, when you log into it and you go down under the estimated benefits tab, you're going to see information like this. I don't know if you out there in the crowd can see this because it's relatively small print, but what you want to look for under the estimated benefits tab is you want to look for the language that says you have worked enough to receive a disability check, and that check amount will be X amount of dollars. The average check that we help people get here is on a monthly basis is $1,350. So there are some that are in the crowd out there that are not approved that I see as well, Jam, right?
Yeah.
The X amount of, whoop, I want to turn that off. So for those of you that are not approved, you can use the same account to monitor your process. So you can use it for multiple reasons. Also, as I've covered earlier, your MySSA account can be used now to change your address, update contact information, all that type of stuff. So that's the first commonly asked question. If you log in there and you are looking to find out your check amount and it says you do not qualify or you haven't worked enough, that's not so much good news. And that kind of goes into the second topic that we have. People don't understand that their Social Security disability benefits expire. And for those of you that are out there that are approved, this isn't going to apply to you because you're receiving yours. But if you know of somebody that falls into this category, you could help make a significant difference in their life. And here's what I mean by that. Your Social Security disability benefits expire after, whoops, that's not what I want. They expire after about 5 years of being out of work. So there's two common situations that happen here that are unfortunate, that people that come here and we're not able to help them because their benefits have expired. So an example would be somebody is working and they have a check, they qualify for $1,350 check, they stop work, they wait a year thinking they can go back, can't go back, and they continue on that. And then at year 6, they take a look at applying for disability. Well, that $1,350 check will continue to erode or reduce because they're not working and there's zeros averaged into their check. So if they don't apply in time, they're not able to get that check. There's only really one way to restore it, and that is that they would need to return to work and earn enough to get their credits back up. So you can earn one credit every 3 months, and this is showing $1,510 earned every 3-month period to restore that. So stay-at-home moms, this is a big challenge for them. They don't know about this. They stay home to raise their kids and their benefits expire, something happens to them and they're not insured. Now the husband's still working, but they've got significant with major medical conditions. It's just really unfortunate. So if you know people or family members, just encourage even single moms to do a side hustle and earn some money while they're raising their kids so they can keep their Social Security disability insurance in place. It will definitely make a difference. All right. Here's the next question that we're commonly asked, and this is for those that are approved. Actually, it happened this morning. Somebody was receiving $1,100 was their disability check amount. And their question was, I see that the average check that you help people get is $1,350, and I'd like to know what I can do to get that, right? So here's the situation with your disability check. The amount of your disability check that you are receiving is based on your work history prior to getting approved. So the more money you made prior to getting approved, this is a general example, the higher your check amount would be. You know, I've seen people with $2,700, $2,800 a month checks. It's $2,700, $2,800 check per month. And so it's based on your income and the tax that you paid. So once you're receiving that, your ability to influence, there isn't any way that I know of to influence that check so that it can become more, with the exception of the gargantuan cost of living increase that's going to happen. And I say gargantuan because it will be the largest ever, and follow some of our other work that we have for the updates on that. So you're not able to change your check amount other than the COLA and the cost of living increase. So there are ways to influence your check so that you have more cash flow and more benefits. And that's what we work hard on to do, like the prior 3 Wednesdays to help you do that. So if you are still working or want to know how your check is calculated, then Social Security has a calculator. It's called Social Security Quick Calculator. And you can go in here and put in your birth date, your check amount, and fill out the information, and it will enter a historical, and it will show you how they came about with your check. Now, here's something I've also seen happen very rarely, but especially for self-employed, that some of their income wasn't properly reported. For example, maybe 3 years ago, they had $20,000 in income that wasn't properly reported from their tax returns, which could influence their check amount. So that's a very, that's a seldom seldom situation, but it is possible that, your check amount could be adjusted. So those are a few tips for you, and how to find out your check, when they expire, how it's calculated. All right. So I want to flip over now, Jim, and start addressing some of the questions that we may have in the group out there today. Let me see here. I'm going to stop my share. And for those of you that have just joined us, the 207 that are out there, welcome, glad to have you. We're going to go through and take some of your individual questions that you have. Hopefully we can answer. All right. Here we go, Jim.
All right, so this one's from Mike Bean. I have a question. I'm on SSDI with my bank. Says I'm SSA. What is SSA, if you don't mind telling me?
I know SSA to be the Social Security Administration.
Yeah. From TMAC, are SSDI recipients set to receive more money too, or is it strictly for Social Security?
I don't know about SSI if the cost of living increase impacts that. I don't know.
From Christina, I applied by myself and got denied twice. Got a lawyer last September and still haven't had a hearing.
So you had a lawyer in September. I wonder when the last denial was. Well, that's more of a statement, but there's some resources that we have that can help you out, even if, or especially if you're using an attorney. We have a disability approval course here at the Disability Digest. The membership, there's no charge for it. When you come in and join us, you fill out a profile. And that can direct you to our Social Security Disability Approval course. And the course shows you what to do and what not to do. Now, something isn't being done right. If you qualify for disability and you haven't been approved, and just having an attorney doesn't mean it's going to be a done deal. The attorney needs to do what needs to be done properly to get your case approved. So the course will take you through what to say and do each step of the way, or what should have been done, or what they should be doing. In addition to that, it'll help you prepare for your hearing, like if you have a phone hearing, what the steps are, what to say, what not to say, what questions you're going to be asked, how you should answer those, things like that. So invite you to take advantage of that, complete a profile, and so you can make sure you're holding your attorney accountable.
All right, this one's from Denise. I aged out of disability at full retirement age after 10 plus years disabled SSDI. Am I still protected by ADA?
That's a good question.
All right.
I don't know, because your classification has changed. I don't know. Don't know the answer to that.
All right. This one's from Linda. I have been on SSI since 2013. I've been told that I qualify for Medicare, but cannot get straight answer from anyone.
If you qualify for Medicare, you can call Medicare.gov or Social Security and ask for your Medicare number. And if you are eligible, they will provide your Medicare number. They should send you cards, but they don't always make their way into the mailboxes.
All right. So one's from AC 2410. I am on a short-term disability with my current employer. Would I need to quit my job before applying for SSDI? I'm concerned about my SGA being too high. Waiting for a call back from one of your advocates too.
So you're on short-term disability through your work, but still working, Jam? Is that what
Yeah,
you?
still working.
Okay, how can you work and be on short-term disability? Or maybe you're still
Right.
considered employed?
Yeah, maybe just a status of his employment.
Okay, so you're technically not working, but you're considered still employed because you're out on short-term disability?
Yeah.
What was the rest of the question?
Would I need to quit my job before applying for SSDI?
No, because the income that you're earning is not earned income. It is like you're out on short-term disability. You still, this is my understanding, you still have your job, but you're not physically going to work. So if you don't believe you can go back to work, then it would, starting the process would make sense.
And this one's from Terry Lynn. At what age does disability turn into regular Social Security?
It depends on your full retirement age. It's slightly different for others. Some it's 66 and a half. But yeah, it's based on when your full retirement age. So if you're born in the late 50s, it's going to be earlier than somebody that's born in the mid 60s.
Mm-hmm. Right, from Ruben, is there a loophole on folks collecting a pension retirement in my case disability? In FERS, it's FERS. Why and how come is there an offset when collecting SSDI benefits all the years I've paid into my retirement?
There's a lot going on there. So there's an offset between the federal retirement and Social Security. Is that the question?
I believe so.
Yeah. It's difficult not difficult, but speaking to the regulations is I don't know why they have them, because you paid into Social Security and you've also paid into one. So I think the question is, or I believe the question is, why are they taking money from you because you're eligible for both? I don't have the answer as to why the regulation is set like that. Like workers' compensation, that's another thing. If you go through workers' compensation and you get approved, then they can take away some of your Social Security disability back benefits. I don't make the rules. I just try to play by them. So I don't have a lot of helpful insight for you there. Good questions today. Zingers.
Yeah. This one's from Warren. Working part-time and receiving Social Security disability insurance. Sporadic net income. I'm to report net earnings annually with only 12,000 grand. The average, 12 grand rather. The average would exceed 970 a month. If that is the case, I would lose benefits and use up 9 ticket to work program months, right?
Yep.
TWP, all right. And follow up with 1 month of excessive net. I could lose all benefits. Would that trigger a CDR even if I'm in the TTW program?
it would trigger an overpayment, not a well, it could trigger a CDR, but overpayment is when Social Security looks at your income record and it's like, oh, I see something here. If you can expense out and get down below the 970, that would eliminate your eating up your trial work months or reduce your income. But if you're not, then you need to be fully prepared for an overpayment.
But this income, though, Brian, is based on commission.
Well, that's it's still income, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and if it's commission-based income, I expect you have expenses that are going to be go against that. So I don't know, again, if you can expense it down. And there's a lot of like reasonable accommodations, from workplace accommodations to service dogs for disability recipients. So make sure you just absolutely nail those to reduce it down as much as you can.
All right. All right. This one's from Harry. Hello, I've been approved fire, disability, and my wife for spousal. We're both 62. Could you tell us what should we expect Becky to receive? We've heard it's 50% of mine minus 3 years sliding scale because she's only 62, not full retirement age.
I need to hear that one again. I don't understand. They're both approved for disability?
He is, and his wife is for spousal, and they're both 62, asking what they should expect to for his wife to receive.
So I'm familiar with widow's benefits, but you're still alive because you're typing this. I don't understand how the spousal, I don't know of a spousal benefit if you're still alive. I'm not familiar with that. Anybody else out there? This would be a new one for me. I've only been doing this 17 years, so I'm kind of new. Yeah. I think your Social Security is a one-on-one program based on your earnings record, and there is survivor's benefits, but survivor means that one of the spouses needs to have passed.
This one's from Kelly. Oh, she just answered Mike Bean's question. Okay, Penny, I'm at reconsideration appeal. They said that they are investigating my medical. Now they say it's being processing it and the judge hasn't made a decision. Please help me confused.
So am I, because at the reconsideration level, what you're asking Social Security to do is to have your initial decision reconsidered. And the workflow for that is typically somebody in the same Social Security office is going to review the work that somebody else has done, give it a reconsideration. There's no judge involved at this stage. So the approval rate for this is very low, 11.7% nationally. And the reason for that, in my opinion, or one of the reasons, is that nobody wants to call out their fellow office worker on doing a bad job. So I don't understand the judge part, because there wouldn't be a judge assigned to the case yet. Unless this is denied, and then it goes to the next step and you apply for a hearing. When you get close to the hearing, a judge is assigned. So my suggestion for you, as it was for the prior individual, is first of all, understand what needs to be done to get your case approved, or even if you have one. And you can learn that by going through and joining us as a member, and the disability approval course, interviewing with an expert, learning if you have a case, what your options are to go forward.
Okay, this is Warren answering our question for Harris. Situation, spousal benefits are available 50% of primary SSDI, but benefits will be discounted due to early retirement of spouse.
Right. I'm not familiar with spousal benefits, so I'll have to brush up on that one.
All right.
I'm not able to help you there. Sorry.
This one's from Luana. I would like to know if I could work only 8 hours a week from home. I'm still looking for the right kind of job to do. I'm interested in an advisor or a call center job.
All right. So 8 hours, you're allowed to work up to 20 hours a week if you're a disability recipient and earn under the allowed amount that we've discussed of $970. So that'd be a yes, you can. And that was from Luana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi,
I
Luana.
know you've been here and for your one of our favorites. So you've seen all the shows about what different members have done. So hopefully you can find something. And by the way, we just released the freelancing course on the YouTube channel. Part 1 went out, part 2 is going to go out next week. But if you have some skills that you can leverage or something that you've done in the past, like administrative work or paralegal or anything like that, I'd take a look at freelancing because you could control the hours and your income and do it from home.
Right. Robert, does one have to go through Ticket to Work program if one is trying to go back to work? How much can one make working on SSDI?
Okay, the answer is no, you do not have to go through the ticket program, the ticket to work, or as I call it, the ticket that doesn't work. You can do this on your own, which could be any form of self-employment, or I just interviewed a guy yesterday who's collects scrap metal and resells it. You do anything like that. And as we discussed, the allowed amount that you can make is $970 a month. And that is gross if you're an employee or net after taxes if you're not.
This one's from Chris. I got a big back pay amount. Do I have to pay taxes on whole amount money? Was for 2020 and 2021.
Okay, you are definitely subject to taxes. It's spelled out in your award letter. It should be like the third page in. But there's some variables there, like what's your household income annually, and how does that line up with the money that you received? And you defined a huge amount. I don't know what huge amount is. Hopefully it's really huge, but I'm not a tax guy, but that's the general liability that you have. And if you have a tax guy, gal, I would ask them that question. Yeah.
Okay, this one's from Melinda. Does SSCI expire to I am new and I am 49. I've been disabled since 2017.
Does it expire? Was that the question, Jim?
Yeah.
So it doesn't, what happens is when you reach full retirement age, then your check stays the same, but your check classification goes from disabled to full retirement. So you have a ways to go about that. So you'd continue to receive your check, and it wouldn't expire. There's, of course you want to avoid an overpayment or continuing disability review and not surviving that could stop your check.
Okay, this was from Antonio. Just approved for SSDI, waiting for SSI appeal. I haven't worked for 3 years. Will I receive SSI?
I'm not sure if it's an appeal. If you're approved for SSDI, then the medical qualifications are the same. So from that perspective, I would say yes. From the asset need-based SSI, super complex. I wouldn't know based on the information that you provided. But good news is you're approved for Social Security disability, right?
All right. This one's from Leonard. I received SSDI in September. It was changed to regular Social Security when I reached full retirement age in October. Can I make income and how much without losing benefits?
Did I understand that he's reached full retirement age?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you reach full retirement age, you're no longer subject to the disability guidelines. So the two things that are most important, in my opinion, are one, the continuing disability reviews. You wouldn't be subject to that. And two is there's no earning restrictions on you. So yeah, you can make money.
All right. This one's from Donna. Can someone who becomes disabled who doesn't have enough quarters get benefits?
Social Security disability benefits? No, unless you restore your quarters, which, as I pointed out in the top of the program, you would need to do return to work or do some work to earn enough money to restore your quarters. Here's an example. Let's say you're at 39 quarters and you need 40, right? So if you earn that $1,560 in 1 3-month period, you go back from 39 to 40 and you restore your check. We've worked with lots of people that we've guided and coached to do that. And if, especially this time of year, there's a lot of seasonal work. You could go, if you can make it work, you could go bang out something and make some money and get that back up there. So what you need to know is how many quarters you have, how many you're short. For most, you need 40. And then you have enough, you have enough stamina to be able to go back out and work part-time to get it done.
All right. This one's from Rick. How do I get to increase that they are supposed to give me?
I'm not sure what increase you're referencing. If it's a cost of living increase, then I'll say this. I know there's some people on YouTube that all they do is put out video on top of video about the increase. There is no increase in 2022. It's in 2023. So the cost of living index, is it COLA? Cost of living, I forget the A part. It's the COLA is like right now, it's just in the speculation stage. It hasn't been established. It's hovering around 8.7%. And I say that because it's driven by the consumer price index, which is inflation. So once they lock that in, then you can say, okay, well, it's 8.7 or whatever it's going to be. You can expect to see that in your January check, but not before. There's some people out there saying you're going to get a 12% increase. Be great, but it just doesn't make sense based on, the experts that I've been following.
All right. This one's from SSW. If I'm approved for SSDI, I'm 57. Can I claim my ex-spouse benefits? He is deceased.
No.
All right. This one's from Suzerain. Hello, Brian. I've been told that if you work at all, it is a red flag for Social Security. I could work about 2 hours a day. Would I be flagged?
Well, here's my position. I don't know if you'll be flagged or not. I cannot say with certainty, but the Disability Digest here, this company, since 2007, we have disability recipients that work here part-time, make money every month. Some of them been here, we've had some here for 8 years. The longest tenure now, we have 2 that are around 5 years. There's no problems. I mean, there's a regulation and a guideline, and if they have a continuing disability review or if you have an overpayment, then if you follow the guidelines, there's no problem. I mean, it's the law. You can get around it. So I think it's really important for people that want to work to definitely pursue it. One, it's good mentally from what I've learned from others. Plus, I don't expect the income would hurt, especially with the inflation going on. Yeah.
This one's from JR. Will a SSI monthly pay go up in the year of 2023?
Yeah, I just covered that with a cost of living increase.
Yeah. Okay. From Melinda, you answered my questions, but you said overpayment. What do you mean by that?
So an overpayment is different than a continuing disability review. An overpayment means that Social Security allegedly or is saying that we have overpaid you. So I've seen situations where people receive a letter that says, we noticed that you have been doing some work and you've been earning over the allowed amount and you've been doing it for these 15 months. And for these 15 months, we would like all of our money back, right? So I've seen overpayment cases that have been for 30,000. I've seen one for 164,000. So just know the rules, stay within the guidelines.
All right. This one's from Moody. If I own my own business and I only take $970 per month, is the company allowed to make whatever it can?
Well, it can, but you want to think about it this way. If you're running a corporation and you're the only one working on it, and the corporation is just crushing it, and you're taking this little check out of it, that's, I mean, that's like going to raise a flag. You know, if you do it legitimately and you've got other people working in it, you're doing your part, they're doing their part, and you're taking a check, perfect.
All right. Hi, I'm just shout outing to Gloria. Please enter your question once again. I believe it got buried. Okay, this one's from Rick. Follow up. Sorry, I should have said I wasn't workman comp. First got a little bit of settlement, so they cut my SSI and said they give me half. They said in 2022 I would get my full payment, and their doctors, 7 of them, got me out total disabled because I am really messed up.
Is that a statement or was there a question in there, Jim?
It's about his question was, how do I get to increase that they are supposed to give me?
Okay. Well, you have a work comp offset. I don't, there's, if it's a done deal and you didn't have the right language in your work comp award to amortize that work comp income over your lifetime, then they're going to take a lump sum. So your check, I don't know of any way to get out of that. So then the second part was the check increase, which I've addressed. Did I miss anything on that? I don't feel like I'm answering the question in its entirety.
Oh, here's a follow-up. Where can I find a lawyer that will help me in New York?
Help you in New York? I'm not close. What is it that you need help with?
I believe about an increase.
I don't know of attorneys that are going to help somebody with an increase because I don't know how you can increase a check. I'm sure they'd be glad to take your money and talk to you about it, but if you're looking to have your check go from $1,350 to whatever you'd like it to be, I don't know how that can happen, and I don't have a legal resource for you. You can call 211. That's like the catch-all for next steps, and do that. But I just exercise some caution based on what you're sharing with me. It's not clear what you're chasing.
All right. This one's from Betty, BJ Pergola. Hi, Brian and Jam. If you have a freelance gig and it fluctuates 94 to 6 hours per week, sometimes less, sometimes more, and filing a 1099, do you report monthly income or when you get your 1099?
1099. Yeah. It's a bit of a gray area there because the guidelines are the 20 hours a week. But I don't, how is that monitored? I mean, if you're not working and you're thinking about it, does that count towards the 20 hours? Just use your best judgment on what the guidelines are, because there isn't any details on that. But yes, it is your net after taxes based on your annual income.
All right. Again, Gloria, please enter your question once more. I'm not skipping it on purpose. I just don't see it on my screen. This one's from Rick. During a SSAI application process, how long does it take and what stage online can tell of an approval?
How long it takes, the $1,000,000 question. It's getting better, but I met with somebody this morning that received their initial application decision after 18 months. But there are others that are now starting to get normal response times of 5 to 7 months. It's just really difficult to speculate. Here's a few tips for you, though. If you can make sure that all of the required information that Social Security needs to make a decision is on file, and that would be your medical records. So if you have 5 doctors and you've listed the 5 in your application, then you want to follow up with Social Security and make certain that they have the 5. And if 1 or 2 is not responding, then you get involved and do that. Now, if you're working with a disability representative, like an attorney or non-attorney, one of the advantages at the initial application stage is they can look right into the Social Security account and they can see what records have arrived. They call them exhibits. And so they see the process and they see it develop. So that's a tip to help you, because here's what could happen. Those 2 doctors that didn't respond, maybe they say, okay, we'll give it a couple weeks, we'll try it again. Somebody drops the ball, that case gets stuck. It just causes delays.
All right. This one's from JR. Okay, so how much will one be able to work if they get paid $653 a month without losing Social Security check altogether?
So does that question, Jams, it sound to you like the Social Security check amount is $653?
Yeah, it's below 970 if he is getting SSDI check.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter what your check amount is. The regulation is the same for everybody. It's the $970 a month that we have mentioned. I just want to make sure it's clear to everybody. This is for Social Security disability. If you're just on SSI or welfare, it's a different regulation. And that depends. There's a lot of resources and asset issues in there. So this is just the Social Security disability regulation that I'm referring to.
All right. All right, this one's from Melinda. Where can I find out the guidelines like he said?
For
I'm not really sure.
if they're for earnings, then we could, they're all over our YouTube channel. Just type in how much you can make. I don't know if while you're doing this, if you can put the link in there. I probably could. You know what? I'll do that while you're going through the questions. I'll put in the link in there for how much you can make. Multitask.
Yeah. Okay, this one's from Lisa. I get SSDI, but only 821 because worked for hospice for poverty wages. How can I get help with dental?
You can get help with dental you should qualify for Medicare and Medicaid at that check amount. So there's 2 ways. Well, the best way to get dental is to take a look at your Medicare Advantage plan and the coverage that it has. And you should be eligible for what they call a dual eligible plan because of your Medicare Medicaid eligibility. And those plans, also called D-SNP plans, are packed with dental. They oftentimes have $1,500, $2,000 a month of comprehensive dental. So you can request a benefit review from us here at the Disability Digest. And if you pass the guidelines and we agree to do the work for you, it's free. Or you can look at last week's live and we show you how to do it. The whole thing's recorded, how to go through and look at all the plans and evaluate them.
This one's from Rick. I'm on SSDI and SSI. I want to start a business that I can work part-time. I want to make sure I'm following the rules. What's the best way to get started and be in compliance?
Okay. Is the number one concern with that question, if it is earning income, then as I've addressed before, and I'm going to put in the chat right now, I'm going to put the guidelines in there with a website where you can go and actually see the regulation. So I believe I put it in there. Did it show up in there?
No.
I might have to two-part this. Hang on. So that's one. And then the second part I'm going to put in is the link to the regulation. Okay. So yeah, if you're going to, you can start just as a sole proprietor. You don't need to do anything fancy, like get a corporation. If you do start making money and then you want to go for that extra level of protection where you have a corporation and the money goes in there and then you take a paycheck, you can always add that later.
All right. This one's from Harry. How would I see if I've been categorized as full disability? I think I'm full, but haven't seen it in print.
So are you receiving a Social Security disability check? If so, then you would be a disability recipient. And there's only one flavor of Social Security disability. Vanilla, let's just say, right? There's not chocolate or strawberry where you're like partial, like other benefits. So you're either on it or you're not.
All right. Okay, this one's from John. I have been on disability for 3+ years and I have been receiving payments monthly. I thought they do a review every 2 years. I haven't heard anything from them. Any reason to be worried?
No, the 2 years, if the 2 years is consistent with what your award letter says, then you're likely going to be reviewed. 20% of disability recipients are being reviewed annually now. So I wouldn't be worried. The only thing I would say for you and everybody else is to understand what you need to do to keep your benefits, right? And we cover extensively, like what you need to do in documenting your conditions and your limitations daily, communicating those to your doctors, reviewing your doctor's notes, just some simple steps for income insurance. That's one. Two, when you get your review, understand what to do. And here at the Disability Digest, we have a continuing disability review survival course. And it's 10 parts. We've released 4 parts up on our YouTube channel. Just type in CDR. And if you're a member and you want access to the full course, all you need to do is just ask us, like reply to an email or call us. And if you're joining us, just put it in your registration comments. I'd like the CDR comment. So the whole thing's available to members. Part of it's on the channel, YouTube channel.
All right. Okay, this is from Teresa Nan. Made it. Brian got my disability within 8 months.
Yes, good for you.
And Debbie, 18 months.
How many?
18.
18? Well, not as good as 8, but congratulations.
Yeah. Lisa, have both in Florida Medicaid, refuse help, have Medicare too.
I don't get that one. What's the question? Or is it a statement?
She asked, I get SSDI, but only 821 because work for hospice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't have the magic wand to change the checks. If I did, I wouldn't be in this business.
Okay, this one's from ADH. If SSA has medical records, will they still request the self-reporting function report?
Yes, definitely.
This one's from Rick. On SSA website, there is a percentage of completion at which percentage may determine approval for SSDI.
Well, it doesn't determine approval. It's an interesting question. If I understand it correctly, your interpretation is that you're like at 75%, and that means you're 75%, and when it gets to 100%, you're approved. That's not how that process works. It means that you are at 75% of the decision process. When you reach 100, you'll receive a decision, and that decision could either be favorable, hopefully it is, or it could be not favorable.
This one's from Crystal. I've been waiting 20 months for SSDI. Initial stage took 13 months, was denied, so now I'm at reconsideration stage.
Yep.
It's been 7 months. How much longer should I have to wait?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I mean, there's so many variables in the system. I would encourage you to, be polite and persistent. One of the things that you can keep in mind for your reconsideration is they do not typically request additional medical records. They're reconsidering and evaluating what's in the file. So if you just call them and ask them, say, hey, listen, is there anything else you need to make a decision today? Anything else you need to make a decision today? Just make sure that you stay in touch with them so they have everything they need.
Right. Rick, follow up. Will I lose my benefits if I start my business and earn over $970 a month? Do I need to notify SSA that I'm starting a business?
You do need to notify SSA, and if your $970 a month is gross and you have expenses that would reduce that amount, then you would be fine. Yep.
This one's from another Rick. Nicole, I have serious question. Why is it I wasn't allowed to put my nationality down when I asked you what you are, and when I said there is no Sicilian Native American, when they told me if I put that down, they wouldn't take my application?
That's a really
Whoa.
good question. I don't know. Yeah, I've also received similar questions recently about gender. And I don't understand their position. From our point here, we're advocates that help you get through the system, but understanding why the system operates the way it does, there's a lot of unanswered things that I just don't know.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know what you do to address that. You have to become somebody other than who you are, or I'm not sure. Yeah.
Follow up from Woody White. I am on SSDI. If I start work, will I lose my Kelly Optima Health benefit?
Kelly Optima Health benefit. Is that your Medicare
Private?
benefit?
Oh.
Medicare Part C Advantage plan. I'm going to go back to the regulation that I put in there. If you stay within the guidelines of that regulation, then you'll have no impact on your benefits. That's what the rules are. If you go over that, then you're subject to losing your disability benefits. Then that would also impact your Medicare benefits, which if that is a Medicare Part C plan, which I believe it is, that would be jeopardized.
All right. Gloria, I give up. I asked the same question 4 times. I honestly don't see it on my screen. Brian, can you try to check on your screen? Her name is Gloria Kasperitis. I didn't see your question here. I'm not purposely skipping it, honestly.
Yeah. I don't either. If somebody else happens to see it and wants to communicate it, help a fellow viewer out, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and what I do know is YouTube live chat has filters for spam messages. Yeah, possible spam messages.
Okay. Yeah, perhaps try to rephrase it.
Yeah,
Good.
right.
Couple more questions from the 576, 78 that are out there. Thanks for joining today. We'll take a few more questions before we have to wrap up.
Right. Okay, follow up from Harry. Thanks. I'm 62, just got approved. Is there a health insurance benefit available for me and my wife until 65 Medicare age? I got approved 2 months.
Okay, so here's the situation. Many do not know this, that when you become approved for your Social Security disability, it includes Medicare coverage. And that Medicare coverage starts 24 months from the date or the month of your eligibility. And your eligibility is, one way to look at your eligibility is the first month that you received a payment. So there's two dates that are usually on these award letters. One is the date that they found you disabled. And then your eligibility date is 5 months after that, because there's a 5-month elimination period. So if you go and look at your award letter, that'll help you understand and pinpoint when you're Medicare eligible. If you're a member here at the Disability Digest, it's part of the benefit review process that we do. We can help you review your award letter and make sure that everything's right, give you the exact month that you'd be eligible.
Okay, I see Gloria's question now. Hello, where is the patient portal? Is it on my socialsecurity.com, or if so, where is it?
Okay, patient portal is your patient portal for your healthcare. So your doctors provide you with a patient portal where you can log in and see your medical records. That's where you would find it. So contact your doctor. Like here in Vermont, I have just one doctor I go to, like, once a year. I should, not even that often, but patient portal, you log in, all your meds are there. Now, one thing for everybody on medical records, this is really important, a new development. There's a new medical record regulation that will help people get their benefits and keep them. And here's the short story. All of your medical records are now mandated to be in your portal. It hasn't been that way in the past. So you receive part of the information. So that allows you to see everything, including billing, all your appointments, notes. So again, back to limitations and everything in your medical records and monitoring them, which we coach you to do. It's a different game now that's in your favor. All right, Jim, one more.
Okay, there's a lot more down, but okay.
All right,
This
two
one's
more.
from, okay, Eric Anderson. If you're not if you're not self-employed, is there a maximum amount of hours you can work in a month, or is it okay just to say under 970?
It's 20 hours. Well,
Right,
sorry, 20 hours a week. So that would be times 4. In my math, that's 80, right?
Yeah. This one's from Teresa Nan. My real name is Teresa Coward. Brian contacted me to review my insurance. He does this every year. Hi, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa, thanks for joining.
Hi, Debbie. Correction, I didn't get an answer yet. I've been waiting a year. I was commenting on what Brian said about it taking someone 18 months to get a decision.
Is there a question in there?
Let me try. No, she just entered earlier 18 months.
Just water, folks.
Are you sure, Brian?
Yeah. We should have a cocktail party though. Let's do that sometime. Make it a little more interesting.
Right, this one's from Betty. I think they mean medical in California.
Okay. Is there, what's the
It's a
question?
statement.
Okay.
Nancy, how long after approved you will receive award letter?
Ooh, good one. Depends on when you were approved, at what stage. If it's, I'll back do it like from the hearing. If you have your hearing and you're approved, you receive a letter that is a decision letter. They say within 4 to 6 weeks. And that decision letter will be you're approved or you're not approved. Then after the decision letter, there's another letter called the award letter. Could be another 4 to 6 weeks. And that letter will explain your payment, your back payment, what you're responsible for, all of that. Now, if you're approved at reconsideration or the first step initial, sometimes you get paid before you receive your letter. Sometimes you'll see your letter in your online account, and then you might get paid 30 days later. So it's just, there isn't any consistency.
All right, this one's from Crystal. I do have new medical records that they need to reconsider. I have a lawyer, but it's hard to get a hold of him. Will they consider new records?
What stage is she at? Is she at the reconsideration?
Not sure. She just said, I do have a new medical records that they need to reconsider.
Okay. Well, if they missed medical records at the reconsideration level, keep in mind the term reconsideration is they're just evaluating what went on. And so if there's, if they missed medical records and they didn't get them and it was their bad, then you can put some leverage on that. But it's not a position where you can add additional evidence and say, well, I just found out about this and I want it to influence the decision. So hopefully that makes some sense to you. But as up until you're approved and even after you're approved, any new evidence that you have, anything that is not in your file, you want to add it in your file. Even after you're approved, the game isn't over, right? You're subject to reviews and other things. So keep building evidence. So for sure, add it in.
Right, this one's from Hillbilly. I just filed and have osteoporosis of the spine. How long do you think it will take to get my SSD?
Don't know. I don't know if you have a case. Just conditions alone do not qualify you for that. But I can say this as a general guideline, if you're for your initial decision, you can hear from other people in the room here today. Should we call it a room? I guess it is a room. Or online. I mean, the decisions are all over the place. Some people have had 8 months, some were 18. It depends on your case, where it's located, who it's assigned to, how easy it is to get the information, that type of, those are some of the variables. It's tough it's tough because there's no clean cut 6 months. It'll be 6 months. You don't know.
All right. This one's from ADH follow-up. Would requesting SSI for low income prolong my SSDI case?
It could, yeah. It could, because they evaluate that. And it could, the other thing that I've seen is with SSI is when you go through and you get approved, we have somebody right now that I want to say it's month 14 that they haven't received their back pay. And the reason for that is when you get approved for your Social Security disability, they're evaluating how much money that they paid you because you were an SSI recipient. And then they have to back that out of what your back benefits are. Doesn't sound that hard to do, but it gets stuck on people's desks and it's not clean, like, okay, well, there wasn't any Medicaid money paid. It's just Social Security, clean, easy, boom, done. So yeah, it can impact it. All right, Jim. 2 more. This time I mean it. I gotta get on to my next show. You guys have been
All right.
great.
Yeah, this one's from Rick. If I notify SSA that I'm starting a business, is there a risk I could trigger losing my benefits? I believe you have addressed this one.
I have. I'm going with no, just stay within the guidelines, and congratulations on taking the first step, even if it's just the thought. All right, last one, then we're going to wrap up.
Kevin, I just got denied. I filed for an appeal in South Carolina.
Good luck with your appeal. We're here to help. So on that
Yes.
note, listen, I want to tell everybody how we can help you, even if you're a member here. We continue to put out new information all the time. And so our strategy here, these are like concept, big picture events that we have. And next week it'll be on Tuesday. But for a customized approach to get your benefits, keep your benefits, or maximize your benefits, we invite you to join us as a member at thedisabilitydigest.com. And Jim, if you'd put a link in the chat to thedisabilitydigest.com. And how that will help you is
I did.
this. Okay. You complete an evaluation, takes a few minutes. We understand where you're at, what you're looking to do, and then we can get you the information and resources and advocates and people here to help you. And of course, you're welcome to sift through everything here, but that just streamlines it. And there's no charge for the membership. And that's how we work. So I thank you. You guys have been great. You gave me a workout. There's several questions I've made mental notes of that I didn't know the answer to. But hopefully you receive some value in this. And a shout out to Jam, everybody, for the great job that she does to help us out here today. So we look forward to having you back sometime soon.
Thank
Be
you,
well.
guys.
All right. Be well, everybody. Make it a great day.
Bye-bye.